with us. So we first met September 2021. You were 17. Tell us what brought you into Bridges that day.
So I came to Bridges for a pregnancy confirmation. I had previously had a really negative experience at Planned Parenthood, so I had chosen Bridges as kind of a different option, and it was my first time being there when I came in.
So tell us a little bit about what your experience was and how you were received.
Well, it was just completely different. The difference was really like night and day. The environment was just so much more friendly and warm and just caring. And when I spoke with the staff members, I felt like I developed a genuine connection with you and the other people that I had spoken to. I think that it was also just the fact that you had continued to contact me, leave voicemails, even when I was really busy and I was just so overwhelmed. I was able to feel that you guys were reaching out and that you cared about me. And this continued even after my son was born, that you guys really just cared about our family and wanted to see how I was doing, which was just so wonderful.
I'm so glad that was your experience. We often hear from women about the impact the ultrasound has. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with the ultrasound and what impact it had for you?
So seeing the ultrasound really just confirmed what I had already felt in my heart, that I was going to be a mother. And despite so many people telling me that, there's nothing there at this point, you really don't know. You're not really changed. Nothing is really going on. It's just, there's nothing. It's nothing. That was really just a lot of it. And when I saw the ultrasound and I saw my son on the screen, I knew in my heart that there was something there. It was a baby and that I was going to be a mother. And it confirmed what I already knew in my heart, that nothing doesn't have a heartbeat.
Yeah. So perfect. Nothing doesn't have a heartbeat.
So Maddie, let me ask, did you have any support from your family or your friends to keep the pregnancy?
So when I got pregnant, everyone had an opinion, but most of it was just pushback. People telling me or suggesting that I couldn't be successful, that we just couldn't do it now, that it wasn't really anything at all, that there wasn't anything there, and that, just go and just get this taken care of so you can continue your life, and so that you won't be unsuccessful, and then so you'll actually graduate high school. People started to say the quiet part out loud, that they didn't believe that a young mom could be successful, that I would somehow be less if I was a mother. My adoptive parents, who I had lived with for most of my life, told me that if I wasn't going to go through with the termination, I should just not come back, that I wasn't welcome at their home. And that, I was being irresponsible. You can't be a mother. You don't have it in you. You're not ready, and we won't support you. My son's grandparents, they were shocked, but they were really supportive, and they really did their best to help me and to accommodate me. His father was really, once he decided, once he came to terms with really that he was going to be a father, and he said, I'm going to do everything. And he really was with me, doing his best and just embracing being a father, as well as my son's aunt. She was wonderful. She came with me to my appointments. But there was so much pushback, so much of just, you can't do this. People who I didn't even know well felt like they had an opinion to tell me that I wasn't capable, that you want to live in poverty, you won't graduate high school, how will you ever pursue higher education, and just belittling me to even think that I had a baby at this point, that I was, it's nothing there. But seeing that ultrasound, had shown me that there was, my baby was there, and I wasn't crazy to want to protect what special, valuable thing I had.
At one of our appointments, you had mentioned that you felt you had been lied to about what it meant to be pro-choice. So can you just expand on that a little bit?
So what I would say with that is that so many of the people who had told me that being pro-life and all of that was just, an attempt to control women's bodies, to tell people what to do, was just a bunch of old men in suits who didn't really care about you or your baby or what happened to you in your life. But when I saw the people who said they were so for women's choice, they were the same people who told me I couldn't be successful, who told me that I wouldn't be anything, that I was almost being cruel to my baby to think that having a life and being able to live was more important than being born into a fancy nursery and all of these toys. People who said they were so for women's choice didn't think that a woman could decide that she wanted to keep her baby. They didn't support me. They had stipulations, unspoken stipulations for which women should have babies. And that just became so clear to me. And it became clear to me that people who were pro-life, people who I had thought didn't really care about babies, were the same people giving me baby clothes and telling me that I could do it because they did believe in me. And they didn't believe that it was just an accident or a coincidence that I was going to be a mother.
Maddy, what would you say to other teen moms or just women in general who are facing unplanned pregnancy?
I would say to them that everything everyone's saying now will pass. People will say so much now, but years from now, you're not going to think about the woman at the grocery store who said, oh, just kids having kids. You're not going to think about the people who told you, well, don't you want to graduate high school? They're not there with you. The only person who's going to be there with you is the baby that you decide to protect. My son, Stephen, and my family, those are the people that I'm with now. And all of the stigma and just things that people say to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really define you. You define you. You're not going to regret protecting the one person who truly depends on you in that moment. And the fact is that you can do it. You have the ability to be a mother. And you have the ability to protect them right now. And that's what really matters.
Well, now that your son is 2, how are you feeling about your decision? And how is life going for you?
I'm so incredibly grateful that I chose to protect Stephen in that moment. So much has just gone on since then, and I won't say that all of it is easy. Things didn't fall out of the sky to form a perfect house and everything that we could possibly need. It was hard work. We had to figure out how to get everything together when we were, quite young. In 9 months, we were given a timer. But having that timer, I think for me at least, it gave me so much motivation to continue. I didn't even really care about if I was going to graduate when I found out. And then all of a sudden, everything changed, and I knew I had to get everything together. And it wasn't just for me, or just because someone had told me, you should really get your life together. No, it was because I cared about Stephen, and I wanted to give him what I thought he deserved. So it pushed me so much, and it pushed me to be a better person, to mature a lot, because I wasn't mature when I found out. But, it changed my heart to understand. So I think that now having a home, having a great relationship with his father, seeing all of the joy and change that Stephen has brought into not just our lives, but everyone around us, I'm so happy.
Me too. Stephen is would you say that you are a happy and thriving family?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah, you are. Is there something you would like to tell our donors to Bridges?
I would just like to say thank you. What you're doing in supporting Bridges is giving people another option. Because in that moment when I was looking and I was trying to find a place to go, I had a horrible experience in Planned Parenthood. I just saw Bridges and I thought, I'll give that place a shot. And when I saw everything there, just the environment, you guys have enabled them to build just a beautiful place where they can talk to people and honestly tell them what their options are. Give them support, just give them love in this time when a lot of people are really in crisis. So thank you so much for making that possible and allowing them to hold this space for people.
Thank you, Maddy. And we celebrate you and Cortez for making the brave decision for life for Stephen, and for being brave to share your story with us tonight. And it has been such a privilege to walk alongside you and be a part of your family's story. So thank you.